Okay, let's see what's happening. All right, welcome everyone. Let me get my comments loaded and we'll see who's out there this morning. Let me try to get my camera organized so you can see my pretty little face. There we go. All right, we're loaded. Of course, my nose wants to itch, so give me a minute. I'm gonna scratch my nose. Pardon me. Pardon me again. Okay, welcome everyone. Let me know that you're out there in Facebook or YouTube land, and we will get started here in a few minutes. We'll give everybody a couple of minutes to get signed on, and then we'll start with our sketch for the day. And hopefully you can hear me. I see the microphone's working. Normally I use my own microphone, but for whatever reason this morning it just decided it doesn't want to cooperate. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. But anyways, so if you come on and you're on the Facebook page, make sure you say hello and let me know who you are. I think it will tell me, since we're on the page, I don't believe you'll need to put your name in there. And if you're on YouTube, your name will automatically pop up. And if you're new to my channel, either YouTube or Facebook, make sure that you subscribe. And on YouTube, subscribe and hit the bell. That's going to notify you each time I upload a new video. And Facebook, if you subscribe, it will also let you know when I post something. It will show up probably in your feed. And if you don't mind sharing this with friends, family, or whomever, that would be great as well. That helps me to reach out and reach more customers. I'd greatly appreciate it. And it is Saturday, December 9th, 2023. Here we are, the first week of December, and we're almost at the end of this year. It's just crazy how time goes by, isn't it? It's just amazing. So anyways, we're going to be working with a sketch today. It's 11:32, so I'm going to give it another minute or so, and then I will get started. This is being recorded, so you'll be able to rewatch it once the video is done. It will take a few minutes for it to do its thing, and then it will be available for your entertainment purposes. So there we go. So we're going to give it just another minute or so, and then we will start. And I'm going to get myself organized. So have y'all been working and getting your Christmas cards ready? That's what I am doing. And I'm going to have to, I think I have enough Christmas cards, but I don't know. We'll see. I think I do. I think I do. I think I should be good with all of the ones that I've made. I still got some sitting over here that I haven't even put away. So anyways, make sure if you haven't already, visit my online store. That will be in the information below the video. If you're on, it should show up on Facebook. If it's not, I'll put it there once the video is done. Make sure you check out the last chance list for items that will not be carried over. And then also the clearance rack has been refreshed this past week. So there are a lot of good items on there, and you can find some really good sales and everything. So that works out really well. Hey, Karen Jo, how are you? We are going to start in about a minute. I'm just going to give it another minute for others to pop on. We have some that are out there probably lurking, which is fine. And we'll get started here shortly. I was just saying how it's already the 9th of December. It's like, where is the time gone? You know, it's like, ugh. But anyway, so I'm trying to wrap everything up before we go out of town Wednesday. And the dog sitter said she would take Riley Tuesday evening, so I might drop her off Tuesday to make it a little easier for us as far as getting ready to leave and all that stuff. So anyways, and I am going to, hopefully when we get done, I'm going to do a video after this, which I'll play on Tuesday since I will not be here. No, we're not back. We're leaving to Key West. We leave next Wednesday. No, we leave next Wednesday. We haven't gone yet. So I'm trying to get everything caught up to go out of town. So I'm going to videotape the instructions on how to make a post-it note holder with pen. And I think it's something that you could also put a calendar on it, or do just a little, tag so they can use it from year to year. But I think that's what I'm going to do. So that's probably what you all will see on Tuesday. Hi, Linda. Good morning. All right, it's 11:35, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me introduce myself. I'm Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I have been doing that for about 12 years. And I now live in Fort Myers, Florida. We moved here about a year and a half ago, and absolutely love this area. And today we are going to be doing, today is our creation anticipation, where we are going to use a sketch to create a card, which I did post yesterday. Now, a sketch is great if you're either just starting out to learn how to make cards. It helps you with ideas. But those of us that have been doing it for a while, sometimes we get a little stuck, right? And we have a hard time coming up with ideas. So a sketch is a great way to at least use it as a starting base. And then I've made 2 cards, which I'm going to make and show you my interpretation of the sketch. And the sketch is in the Facebook page in the file section if you want to download it. And YouTube, if you are interested, just message me and I'll send you a copy. Or if you have access, if you're on Facebook, then go to my Facebook page at Shall We Stamp, and you can download the template as well. So I'm going to flip the camera down, I think. And this is a sketch that we're going to be using. And this is the card base. And we're going to do a couple of layering things here. And we're going to do some circles. I thought that was kind of good. So this is what we're going to be making. So the first card that I'm going to start out with, I'm going to use the So Very Merry. It's a holiday set. And you've seen me use this before. And then we're also going to be using the deckled circles. And I'm going to be using the 5th from the center and the 7th. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to use number 5. Yeah, we're going to do number 5 and then number 7, if I'm not mistaken. Hang on. 5, 6, 7 should be. Whoops. See, it's not this one. It's going to be this one. Now, I know that looks really big, but it's not really as big as you think. So that's what we're going to be using today. Now, the other card, you can use the circle punches. You can use whatever. You can use squares. You can use whatever die set, or if you want to. It's your interpretation of this design, and that's the nice thing about when we use sketches. So let me go ahead and push this aside. And I will show you, this is the card that I made, and we're going to just replicate this. So this is a holiday card. And as you can see, I've got my card base, my piece of gray granite here. I'm using designer paper here. This is that larger deckled in real red. Then I'm using a piece of mossy meadow because it coordinates with these leaves. And then I'm using that smaller number 5 deckled circle to cut out the Santa, which I'm going to be stamping and coloring with Stampin' Right markers. I'm sorry, Stampin' Blends. And then the inside I just stamped with Garden Green, the sentiment, 'Tis the Season to be Jolly. And that both comes from the So Very Merry holiday stamp set. So that's what we're going to recreate. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, again, we have our Garden Green, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score this at 4 1/4. And let's get this lined up. So we're going to go ahead and give this a good score. And then we're going to go ahead and start building. And I've pre-cut the circles, only because I didn't feel like pulling out the die cutting machine. It can get a little, I don't know. It's a little difficult when you're trying to videotape, and you all know how to work those machines, I think. So I don't feel like I need to show you how to do that. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a piece of, this is gray granite, and this is measured at, let me find my ruler because I didn't write any of this down. This is 1.5 inches by 5.5. So I'm going to have this go from top to bottom. So we're going to go ahead and add this now. And again, whatever your interpretation is may be different than mine. And if you do make some cards using this, please post them so that we can see And I thought I had my glue all ready to go here. And, oh, there we go. Now it's coming out a little bit more than I want, but that's okay. We'll make it work. And so we're going to put this gray granite on here. Let me get my stuff off. The little goo. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to lay this over. I'm going to move it off maybe, I don't know, half an inch or so. Maybe that's 3/4 of an inch. Whatever you feel like. That's about 3/4. So I'm just going to lay that right there. All right, and then the next thing we're going to add, now you can do whatever piece. You can do a white piece, a colored piece, but I'm going to use the designer paper. And this is 3 inches by 4 1/4. So 3 inches by 4 1/4. And I'm just going to, all of these are going to be glued down. They're not going to be popped up. So we're just going to glue all of these down. And that the back side of this is a really pretty calm color. Isn't that pretty? And hopefully, am I crooked? There we go. All right, so we're going to lay this on here. And I'm going to move it a little bit closer to the edge. Probably about like that. All right. And then we're going to take our deckled circle and we're going to lay this somewhere in here. And I'm going to probably pull it. I'm going to leave a little bit so we can see the top of that. And then I'm going to move it over right about there, okay? So we'll go ahead and glue this one down. And then we're going to add our strip of Mossy Meadow. And I believe that's 3/4 of an inch, but I will let you know once I get over there and measure that. So I'm going to put this right about here, okay? And we're just, all of these are just being glued down. And this is going to run 4 1/4. And yeah, 4 1/4, and yes, it's 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to lay that right about here, I think. Or I can move it up. We can move it up a little bit if we want. Let's move it up a little bit, and then I'll just move my circle up some. Okay, so we're going to add our adhesive to this as well. Well, oh, I pulled the wrong one out. I grabbed the wrong one. Sorry. I have 2 over here as a backup, and of course, obviously, the first one, this one I just pulled is not. I don't think it's got much glue in it. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to add this. I'm going to move this one up a little bit on my red circle. I'm going to move that right about there. Okay. All right, now we're going to do our stamping. Now, I've already cut out the deckled circle number 5. So we're going to bring in our Memento Black ink. And I'm going to stamp. I'm going to ink up my Santa Claus, and I'm going to do it this way because it's easier when you have a stamp that's bigger than your ink pad. And I'm just going to walk my Memento Black ink around to make sure everything is covered. And it looks like it is. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp this on the circle. And the nice thing about the photopolymer is you can actually see through it to see what you're, how you're placing your stamp, right? So I'm going to stamp that right there, and I'm going to hold it down for just a minute, make sure all of my ink transfers, and I'll just give it some pressure. And then we'll pop that off, okay? All right, so now we'll do some coloring, and I'm doing something a little weird. I'm using one of our Stampin' Right markers, which is the Garden Green. Now, the problem with that is I've used up my ink, and apparently it's not working on the tip. Oh, yeah, it is. Well, no, my tip's not doing very much of a point. So I'm going to come in with my small part, and this is going to maybe look a little funny, but that's what I'm doing. I am going to color a couple of these little places. We don't have a Garden Green Stampin' Blend, okay? So that's why I'm using this. I probably could have pulled in another green, but I wanted to use the Garden Green. So, and I'm afraid with the fat tip, see, it's not going to let me color because it's been used so much. So I'm just going to color in a couple of little squares with the green. So just bear with me while I do this. And as you can see, I probably need to order some more of these because it looks like I'm running out of ink. I've had these things, you know, these markers last forever unless you use them all the time, right? So this might not be a good idea. Look, I'm running out of ink. These markers, I've had these things for, oh my gosh, at least 10 years. Because, you know, you don't use them all the time, right? And now that we have, let me put this on my, Now that we have Stampin' Blends, you don't even use them. I don't use them as often as I used to because we have the blends. So let me see if this will help bring in the ink. But I don't have a garden. I really like the garden green. See, that's not going to cooperate. I do like the garden green, but, and see how the tip, I can't get a good coverage with it, so it's going to kind of make it look really dark, but we may just have to go with this, and that's okay. We'll just deal with it. I guess because we have enough greens right now, they don't feel like that we need to have any more, but that's okay. I'll just make it work. All right, so there's 2, and let's see, I'm going to do, let's see, I want to do this one here. But once you get it going, if you haven't used your tip, it's fine. But if you use your tip on the Stampin' Right markers, sometimes they get a little flattened, just like the Stampin' Blends do, right? So I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on this. I'm just going to lightly, so that I don't, and once we get it all colored, no one's going to even notice this, so it really doesn't matter. And then I'm going to do this spot right here. I just wanted to add some green that will blend with what we're doing. So again, I'm going to take my fat tip and see if we can't make this work. So I know what I'll be ordering. There we go. This guy's working out. And it's fine. It's a little darker, but I think I kind of like the darkness. All right, so I'm just kind of touching up where the white is so we don't see that. I think that's fine. And we'll just come right along this line right here. Okay, I think that's good. I love garden green. I think it's such a pretty color. All right, so there's that. There's our garden green. Thank you for sharing. Go to dinner at Square Grouper down there if you haven't been there. Oh, in Key West? Okay, I'll have to write that down. Okay, now we're going to color with our red, our real red, but I am going to use the lighter, whoopsie. No, let me start, sorry about that. I'm going to start with my crumb cakes, because I'm going to do, whoopsie, I don't want that one. I'm going to use the dark crumb cake. I'm going to do his bag that he's carrying. Actually, I need my light crumb cake. Hang on. What did I do? Oh, it's in my other pile. Hold on a second. Oh, wait a minute. Where is my other crumb cake? All right, hang on. That's medium. That's all right. Hang on. Where's my crumb? Oh, here's crumb cake. Look at that. He's blending in with the gray. All right, so we're going to color the bag. I'm going to outline it, his shopping bag or his goodie bag, and we are going to, I'm going to just outline it with the dark crumb cake, and then we're going to color it with the light crumb cake. So we're just going to give it some, shading here. And come around a little bit. Come down here. And we've got these 2 little guys right here. Okay, now we'll come back with our light and fill this in. And I'm going to do the, let me see, I might be able to do the tip. Let's see if this tip is, you know, a lot of times when you use your tips, they tend to not work as well. So we'll just use the tips and do some coloring. And we'll color here. I'm going to get his little bag colored in. Do this piece right here. See, you can tell and I normally don't use the tips, but that's fine. All right, I think that looks fine. Actually, I do want to put a little bit, I'm going to put a little line right here to kind of give it some more depth, like shadow effect. I'm going to add a little bit more here, so it doesn't look like we're completely doing that. And then I'm going to come back with my light and do a little bit more blending and try to pull that color out some. All right, and we'll do that in here as well. Just kind of blend it. Okay. All right, so there's that. Now let's do, I'm going to go ahead and do his face. And I'm using Petal Pink and the medium light 800 number. I think I'm going to do petal pink. Let me look and see which one I want to do for his, let me see, the color. I'm trying to remember which color I used. We're really close in color, actually. I think I'm going to do his, I think this is his ear. I'm going to do this here. And we'll leave that, and then I'm going to color. I should have put red on his ears because his ear's probably cold. All right, and this is the petal pink. No, I'm sorry. This is the medium 800 that I'm using on his face. All right, and I believe that might be his neck right there. I'm not sure, but that's what we're going to make it look like, his neck. Okay, so those colors are done. Now we're going to come in, and I'm going to do a little bit of gray in his beard, even though, and I probably will try not to do it. This is the light smoky slate. So I'm going to just try to do a little bit around the edges, just to kind of show he's got a little bit of gray. I may end up having to color it, but let's see if we can just do a little bit around the edges and try to come through. I might have to make it look a little grayer, but that's all right. That's Santa. He's got a gray beard. And then we're going to come in with our red, and we're going to color with real red. And I'm going to do, I think I'm going to just do the light. I'm going to go around and color. Actually, let me do his hat in dark. I'm going to do that in the real red. I'm going to do it in dark. I'm going to do his hat so it stands out, because the windows I'm going to do in the lighter shade. So I'm just going to go ahead and color these on his hat. And I'm going to leave the white alone so it stays white looking. And then we'll come down and color this part here, right there. And then we'll do all this. I think this is his hand holding on to that. So I'm going to leave that white. Actually, this, I'm going to do this as red. This might be part of his jacket. All right, and then we're going to we're going to color this all dark red. Do y'all like coloring? I love to color. All right, so there's that. And now we'll come back and we're going to do the light red in all of these, whoopsie, all of these squares. Oh, wait a second, I forgot to pull in. Hang on 1 minute. I just realized I forgot to grab a marker. Okay. All right, so now we're going to color in these windows. And after I had done this in the red, I probably should have done it where we could, they're stained glass, right? So it's fine. But I'm doing them all light red, real red. But we could have done like a color to make it look like he's looking out the outside, that you can see outside. But we're just going to go with the light red and color it, and then we'll just go from there. So we're just going to color these in and just try to make it all look nice. All right, and then I'm going to come back and do my fine line. I just like to do an outline before I start coloring. And I'm going to turn this so I can see. And I'll just go ahead and do this one as well. And I got a little bit of red on his hat. So I'm going to take the color lifter. And I see it right here. So I'm just going to push that up. And hopefully that takes that away. All right. And then we'll come back with the large tip. Let me turn it this way. And we'll just finish coloring. And then I'm going to come back with the white and add some dots so it looks like it's snowing outside. All right, and then we'll color this one right here. and just lightly go around, because you know you want to be careful going around the edges because it tends to run, right? So it's going to bleed. We don't want that. All right, so there is our red. Now I'm going to come back with our chalk marker, and this you can find in the catalog. And I'm just going to come in here and just make some dots where it looks like it might be snow. And then I also left some with the white showing through where I colored, which probably would have looked a lot more realistic, huh? So we're going to just kind of add a little snow outside. All right, so there's that. And let's move these guys out of the way. Sorry about that for making noise. All right, and then this one, we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. So we are going to pull my dimensionals in. Thank goodness I ordered some more because I was getting low. I didn't realize how low I was getting until I looked at my supplies and went, oh my. So now we have a new catalog coming out here, the 4th of January, if I'm not mistaken. But make sure you go to the clearance rack and check out all the stuff there, because they've got some good pricing on all of that. And okay, so now I've got my white with my Santa, and I'm going to place this right about here. I'll bring it up. Now this one I'm bringing up a little bit higher than I did on the other. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit because I want that red not to show. And I'm just going to put him right there. All right, so there's the front of our card. And then we're going to come in. Whoops, hang on, let me make sure this is the right size. Yeah, I had a couple of pieces in there that were bigger. We're going to use the garden green ink, and we're going to stamp the inside with our sentiment. And I'm going to stamp it at the top, then that way I can write below it. Or you can stamp it in the center. It depends on how you want to write your message. I guess everybody has their preference, right? All right, and then we're going to add this. So this is a pretty easy. Hang on a minute. This is a pretty easy card. It took me a little bit trying to come up with even though I had the template, I was trying to figure out how am I going to make this work. So, but I thought this turned out pretty good. And I've got another one I'll show you that's a little bit different. And you know what? This is almost, I think this is a little bit too big, but that's all right. We got the inside piece. That's all that matters. Get it straight. Let me look at it. Okay, there's our inside. All right, so there is the sketch. Now I'll just compare the two. The only difference is I put this one up. This one is up a little bit higher. So here is the sketch. Let me pull it back in so you can see. So there's the sketch. I think I did pretty good, don't you? No, I don't have written instructions. You'll have to, sorry, Linda, you come back and watch the video. It's the measurements. It's a regular base card of 5.5 by 8.5, score at 4 1/4. This is 1.5 by 5.5. I'll confirm that. Yeah, 1.5. This is 3 by 4 3 inches by 4 1/4 is the paper, and this is the 7th largest circle decal from the center, and this is the 5th. And you can see I stamped off a little awkward, but that's okay. And then this is 3/4 of an inch. I did not cut it into a banner. I just ran it so it's 3/4 by 4 1/4. Okay. And then your inside piece. So I thought I did pretty good on that one. All right. So let's move on to the next one. I'll put this card over there. Get my ink out of the way. All right, so this card is a little different, and we're going to do a lot of coloring on this one, and this one's going to be really different. So you're going to see how this one is going to work. Let me pull in my pieces and my stamps. Now this one, I'm using the Zany Zoo. So let me get all my pieces out here that we're going to use for stamping. All right, so this one, I still did the circles, but I didn't put the strip across. Oops, I didn't put the strip across the center because my little guy holding the balloons was in the way. So I am going to do the same thing, and I'm going to show you what I did here. I've stamped this guy, and then I stamped it a second time and cut it out on that circle. So that's what you'll see me do here in just a few minutes, okay? All right, so the Zany Zoo, and this is a birthday card, but you can make it whatever you want, right? So I'm gonna put this over here out of the way. Now I'm using Orchid Oasis, and this is 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to score at 5 1/2. All right, so we're going to score this at 5 1/2, and this is going to be our what you typically would say we're going to do it like a tent card. Now you could also put the landscape mode, but we're going to do it like this. Okay. All right, so that piece goes there, and then I've cut a piece of the designer paper. And this is the translucent paper that is in the online exclusives. And I'm using the back side, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to add that. I hate to cover up these pretty flowers. Aren't they gorgeous? I need to start using up this paper, I tell you. I've got a lot of paper that I need to start moving. All right, and then I'm going to lay that down here. And this is how I'm building my card. And then I'm taking a piece of, what is it, wild wheat, I think it is. And this is going to be my little piece. Now I've got to trim this down because this is a little longer than I want. So let me pull my paper trimmer in. I'm going to cut this at, let's see, it's going to be 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to bring in, this little thing is no longer available, but it's just a little bit easier. I can line this, actually, I don't want to do that because I can't measure if it's more than 4 inches. So we're going to go back to this guy. Sorry about that. So we're going to cut this at 5 1/4. So I'll just cut this little piece off right here. All right. So I don't use this paper, this card color very much, but you know, it really does. It's a really nice looking color when you look at it. You know, I put my little, look at that. I put my pink thing on there crooked. I don't think I can lift it up. Nope, I can't. All right, well, it's going to stay there crooked. That's okay. It's all right. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so this guy, I'm going to set him on here. And I'm going to place him right, I'll go a little bit to, I want a little bit there. That might help hide that it's not sitting straight. So we'll put that right about there. This is probably 1/8 of an inch, if that. All right, and of course that's not going to go all the way up because of the paper being up high, but that's all right. Then I have a piece of basic white that is 4 inches by 3 3/4. And that's going to go on here with the 3 3/4 will be at the top and the 4 inches will be wide. So that's going to go right here after I do some stamping, okay? So we're going to push this all over here out of the way. I'm going to bring in my Memento Black, and I'm going to go ahead and create my design. And I'm going to stamp Rocky Raccoon with his balloons, and I'm going to put him right here by the edge and stamp him down, okay? And then I'm going to come in and stamp the little ballerina. So we're going to get the little, I guess it's a bear, the bear ballerina. Now, I want to get her close, but I don't want her to touch, you know, his face. So I'm going to bring it down to where this part of her skirt is going to kind of hit like right below his chin, hopefully. All right, so we're going to put her right about there. Okay, so far so good. All right, and then we're going to bring in the singing turtle. I love this set. I always forget we have it, you know. All right, so we're going to bring in the singing turtle, and we're going to place his microphone to where it's going to be right above her skirt, so we can make sure that he's got room, because he may not fit. He might be off a little bit. Hopefully not. So we're going to put him right about there. Oh, perfect. That worked out well. Yay. Okay. All right, so we're going to color these, and then we're going to come back and do something else as well with our coloring. So let me bring in my Stampin' Right markers. And I'm just picking colors to color. So let's start with the raccoon. We know he's gray, right? So I'm going to do his mask. I'm going to make his mask dark. And I don't know if raccoons, are their bellies white or are they black? I'm making it dark. I couldn't remember. I guess I should have looked them up. because they're really kind of a silver color, aren't they? But I didn't know if his belly was dark or if it's white. But I'm going to make it dark just because I don't know any different. So let's get this little guy colored. All right, so I'm just going to color this in. All right, and then we're going to come back. Actually, I'm going to make his little hands, I'm going to make his hands dark too, just because. I'm just putting little dots on them just to get it to fill in. And I think that's good. And then we're going to come in with the, hang on, where's my gray? I need my light gray. Oh wait, is it in the other batch? Hang on a minute. Yep, smoky slate's right here. So we're going to come in with our smoky slate light, and we're going to just go ahead and color him in. I assume raccoons, I guess I should have looked it up. I assume they're gray, but I don't know, maybe they're brown. What do y'all think? Are they, I guess they are. And I'm going to come back with the dark and do his mouth. All right, so let me just go ahead and get him colored. And it's not really much because when you look at him, it's a pretty easy coloring here. And again, you all that are good at coloring, then you choose your own colors. And it doesn't have to be like mine. All right, and then we're going to come in and cut it. We're going to do his tail light, and then I'll probably come back and put a couple little dark through there. All right, and let's do that. Let's put a couple little, just to accentuate some of these little lines in here. Not a lot, but just a few. All right, and then we'll color some balloons. We'll knock these out in no time. This is a berry burst, in case you're wondering. And I'm going to color, let's do this one. Now don't go anywhere because I'm going to do something different after I color these guys. And we'll do, let's see, what color is this? This is Boho Blue Light, and I'm going to color that here. All right, and then we're going to come in with a orchid oasis because we want to make sure we've got some coordinating colors. So we're going to color this balloon up here. All right, and then the bottom one we're going to do bubble bath, and I think I might do that. I think I'll do it light bubble bath because her little ballerina slippers are going to be bubble bath. They're going to be the dark. All right, and then I just need to come in and do a quick little dark on his nose because I didn't color in his nose. I think that will be dark. And I'm going to make her nose. Do I want hers to be, yeah, I'll make hers black too, even though she's a brown bear. I'm going to make her brown. Okay, all right, so there's that. And we're just going to continue to do some coloring. I'm going to take this orchid again. I'm going to color the bear's belt in orchid. And then I'm going to color her flowers, pardon me, in the berry burst. And she's going to have a little pink flower on her dress here. And then, since I didn't bring the dark one, I'm just going to make a dot here and just hold it. And hopefully it makes it look darker. More ink will transfer through there. All right. And then we're going to bring in with our crumb cake. And we are going to use, to color the bear, the light and the dark. No, I'm sorry. We're going to use the light crumb cake for the little dots on her body. I'm not sure what these things are. Do y'all know what these are on this bear? I don't know what they are, what they're supposed to be. Do bears have dots on them? Do y'all know? Let me know if you do know. I don't know what they are, so I'm just going to color them light because I'm going to color her in Pebble Path. She's going to be a dark bear, a dark brown bear. And I'm going to color these little guys first because I'm really not sure what they're for. And then I'm going to color her face in the light. So this part of her is going to be light. Okay? All right, and then we are going to use our pebbled path. That's Crumb Cake Dark. Where did my pebbled path go? Hang on. It's hard to find these colors because they all tend to blend with each other. Oh, it's right in front of me right here. Pebbled path. This is the light one because it's a dark color. All right, so this is light. So we're going, and you know what? I just noticed something when I did, oh, those are her fingers. I stamped this, but apparently it didn't get her arm in there right. So we'll just ignore that. But we're going to color her body, the pebbled path. So she's going to be a darker brown bear. I just realized that her arm, her hand right there is not been developed. We'll put it that way. She's a handicapped bear. So I'm just going to lightly color around there. And then, you know, that's kind of, you know, that's exactly what happened. Look at that. Her arm didn't. So she only has one hand. But that's okay. So we're just going to still use her. We're just going to come in here and color. You have to be careful when you get around those little dots because you don't want your ink to blend into those. So let me just color this real quick. Well, not quick. I'll do it. You have to be patient. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that, her arm. So I'm going to think about that for a minute. Somehow when I stamped it, I didn't pay attention that it didn't color that part. And I guess I didn't. Let me get my crumb cake light out again and color. Some of these don't look like they got any ink to them. I'm just going to do these over one more time. Probably should have used the darker ones, but I wanted it to look light, so. Okay. And then we'll come back and do her legs and the pebbled path again. All right, so just bear with me. You know, you got to get around all these little dots, so. All right, so we've got that done. Now we're going to use the dark bubble bath and cover. We're going to color her shoes. Oh, I got to do her inside of her feet. These are her ballerina slippers. And we need to come back and do her foot because her shoes are open, so you don't see. Okay, so there's that. And then we're going to color her skirt pink too. So we're going to just kind of highlight these lines. And we're going to come back with the bubble bath light. And we're going to color her skirt. Because we've got to make her look like a girl, right? All right, so there's that. And then we're going to do the turtle. And then we're going to do something else. We got a little bit more coloring afterwards. So the turtle, I am going to use, did I bring it in? The gray, let me grab I'm going to use the gray granite. Hang on one second while I find the light gray granite. I'm going to color the turtle's legs gray granite. I don't know what color turtles are, so his arms and face and everything are going to be gray granite. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. So we're going to color these gray granite. Color his little legs. All right, and then we're going to do his neck. And his head. I guess turtles are more of a greenish brown, aren't they? That's okay. All right. Now I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to do dark for the outlining of his shell. So this part right here is going to be Mossy Meadow, and this is dark. And I'm just going to come around and do the shell. Okay. Now, I think what I want to do. Oh, I guess I better color this. You know what? Yeah. Let me color this part of his shell too. And then we're going to color the inside, like those little squares on the back of his shell. We're going to color them with the light Mossy Meadow. So we're going to color these the light. Let me get my other end. Looks like stripes on a cat type critter. Which one are you talking about? The raccoon? Ah, well, this is my light. Boy, that's not very light, is it? Okay, I'm going to come in here, and I think this is supposed to be, this is my light, but it sure doesn't look light, does it? Compared to the other stuff, what I used before. I'm going to do every other. Oh, yeah, now it's showing up. And then I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to put the wheat, which I should have done those shells right there. I'm going to do this as wheat. He's going to have some brown stripes on him, because I want him to blend in with the rest of the card. So I probably should have done this here and this here and that there, but it's already colored. But that's okay. It's my turtle. Okay, so we're going to leave this here, but we want to, I need to color his microphone. So we're going to color, I'm going to use the dark smoky slate for the little line right here that separates the microphone part. And then I'm going to do the light. Now, I'm going to do this again in just a second, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. And then I'm going to take my crumb cake, and I'm going to kind of draw like they're not, so it doesn't look like they're sitting, you know, they're not standing on the ground. So we're going to come down and just draw some of this so it makes it look like they're on the ground, okay? Give them a little bit of ground. All right, now, so that's that, but here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bring in another piece of paper. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. I'm going to re-stamp my turtle and my ballerina, okay? Now, this is where I have to get this just right, because this is what I'm going to cut this out with. I'm going to punch it out with a circle, and then we're going to attach it over part of their body, okay? And then it will pop that up on dimensionals. So now what I've got to do is I've got to make sure that I get my turtle placed pretty close to where he is now so that I can cut it and it all works out. So we're going to put him right about there. Hopefully that works. And then I'm going to do some quick coloring again, so bear with me. Sorry, you've got to watch me do this again. So we're going to take our, where's my gray granite? Gray granite, and we're going to go ahead and color our turtle real quick. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut a circle, but we're not going to cut the whole, we're going to cut the guys off. Does that make sense? You'll see in just a minute, okay? So that's why I want to make sure I've got it just right so that I can get the circle to punch out what I want it to punch out. So just stay with me. All right, so let's get in our Mossy Meadow. I'm going to color his shell. Now I'm going to make sure I use the wild wheat on those little spots on the side. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to take this color, and I'm going to color the outside of his shell a little bit of the lighter Mossy Meadow. All right, and then we're going to come in here and do this again. So we've got Mossy, right? And we'll do Mossy here. And we'll do Mossy here. All right, and then this is where we're going to come in with the wheat. And I'm going to put that right here. And that should hopefully make a, pull this together. Okay, and do his microphone. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Let's see, what is this? This is, whoops, that's not what I want. I want my dark smoky slate for his microphone again. And then we'll do light smoky slate for the rest of it. All right, and then we got to color our bear one more time, so just bear with me. Get it, bear? All right, so we're going to come in. Let me go ahead and do her skirt. Let's see, this is the dark, so I'm just going to do some highlights. I'm going to go ahead and do her shoes while I got the dark here. All right, and then we'll come in with our pink. And I should be able to just do this pretty quickly. And we'll do our flower one more time. You didn't know you're going to be watching me color all day, huh? All right, so there's that. And bring in our Orchid Oasis and color her belt. Okay. And we're going to bring in our dark smoky slate. I'm going to do her nose while I've got this here. All right, now we're going to come in. At least I got both of her hands there, so that's going to make this one will be fine. Let's take our crumb cake light, and we're going to start making our dots again. And if y'all, and I haven't been able to look at the comments because I've been too busy trying to color, but if y'all know what these, oh, the cat, this looks like a cat to you? Oh, I thought it was a bear. I don't know. You think it's a cat? All right, so what, I thought it was a bear. You think it's a kitty cat? Oh my goodness. I guess I better look back at that again, huh? I wonder what it's supposed to be. All right, so, well, what are the spots for? Do you think that's a cat with spots? This is kind of weird, don't you think? All right, and I'm going to color it again with the, making my dark bear. Probably shouldn't have done that. Oops, wait a minute. I need the light crumb cake to do her face. So you think this is a cat? Really? I thought it was a bear. I guess I need to look. Maybe I have to put the word out and ask other people what they think. Was this supposed to be a bear or a cat? Because that would have made a difference in the coloring, wouldn't it? Because I wouldn't have made it this dark. I thought it was a bear. All right, who knows the answer? If it's a bear or a cat, what do y'all think? Leave me some comments. Because look at her claws. Those look like bear claws. Doesn't that look like a bear claw? Those look like claws. I don't think those are kitty cat claws, are they? I think it's a bear. Well, I'm coloring her as if she's a bear. And I really think she's a bear. But, oh well, it's okay. Because it's my card. So I can pretend that it's a bear. All right, so I'll be done just a second coloring her, and then we can move on to what we're going to do for the card. All right, so we'll leave that, and let me just do her legs real quick. I have to take my time because I don't want to mess up my legs. So bear with me. Maybe this could have been pink right here, huh? I guess I could have made that pink, but it looks like it's got the lace, like the pink lace going across her feet. I was never a ballerina, so. All right, I think that's good. Okay, now what we're going to do, let me move all of these guys out of the way. The only thing I do need is, we got to do some music. So I'm going to use, all right, so the 2 3/8, this is boho blue, and I did cut this out of the 2 3/8 circle punch. So I went ahead and cut that out in advance. I could have punched it, but I already did. Now I'm going to use the 2 1/4 inch, and I think this is retired, but I needed this to get these guys in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, I want to get the bear and the turtle in here partially, and then we're going to line it up and line it up on this one with dimensionals. And I think I'm going to leave it about like that. So I'm just going to cut this much right here. So this is what I'm doing. Okay. Now, the one thing I do need to do, oh, you know what? Oh, I cut it backwards. Oh, I wanted the down part there. Oh, crap. That's not going to look right. I wanted my circle up there and I cut it backwards. Oh, Lord, people. Guess what? You're going to, hopefully you don't mind watching me color one more time because I just cut it backwards. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention when I did the circle. It should be cut. I want it like this. So that's not going to work. All right. If y'all have to go, you won't hurt my feelings, but let me just do this real quick because we got to get it. I have to get it right. Okay. And I'm very sorry that I did that. I was too busy running my mouth, talking. I'll just do some quick coloring and then I can color it afterwards so I don't hold y'all up. So let me just let me do the turtle. I apologize, you guys. I cut it backwards. All right, this is the dark. I'm going to do the turtle again. So my apologies. If you need to go, you can come back and watch this later. I'm sorry. I'm going to color as much as I can just so it doesn't look too goofy. And then we'll, well, I'll try to do this as fast as I can. This is going to go in here. No, this is going to go here. The light goes there. This is the light mossy meadow. And we're going to do this again. I was too busy talking and punching and not paying attention where I needed to put my circle, to cut my circle. Right? Okay, that's fine. We'll get it. We'll get it together. We will get it together. And this is the wheat. And we'll put that right there. And then we'll do this. My apologies, you guys. We'll be here a little bit longer than what I had anticipated. And let me find my gray granite. That's slate, crumb, pebble. All the grays and the beiges all look alike, don't they? All right, this is the gray granite again. I'll try to speed up the, like I'm in fast mode. Fast forward. Okay, there's that. We'll pull this one in. We know this is the dark. This is the light smoky slate for our microphone. Okay, all right, here we go. We're going to do the bear again. Let me throw this away. That's trash, and that's trash. All right, one more time. I'm getting the hang of coloring these colors, though, that's for sure. Okay, I apologize. Whiskers. Oh, yeah, they don't have whiskers. It doesn't have whiskers, right? Looks like a cat, Judy would. It doesn't have any whiskers, though, see? I know. I guess we need to ask the artist if this is a bear or a cat. What do y'all think? I think we should. I think I'll reach out to somebody and ask them what they think. I think it's a bear just looking at their claws. Because those are some pretty weird claws. But then I'm not a cat owner, so I don't really know what cats' claws look like. But I think those look like bear claws to me. Because there's only 3. And cats have more than 3, right? Don't they? All right. I think they do. All right. Well, we'll see. Next time I could always do it as a, color it and think it's a cat. All right. Let me just quickly get through this so we can move on so you can actually see what my card is supposed to look like. All righty. And here we go with the dark. Nope. Yeah, light petal. Oops, I don't want that one. Hang on a minute. That's gonna get a little in the way here. I know this is dark, but I was thinking a brown bear, you know. I'm holding my breath because I'm trying to do this fast so I don't hold y'all up. Now I know, next time I know where to put my punch my thing. Sound of silence. All right, almost done. Hang on. Okay, we just need to do her face again. Crumb cake light. And I gotta do her nose. All right, so there's her face right there. I still think it's a bear, but we'll see. We will see. Color her nose. Well, we can agree it's a girl because she's got a tutu on. Okay, let's see if we got this down right. Okay, but the one thing I want to do before I punch it again, I want to get the music things in here for this dude since he's singing. So I'm going to try to put these right over here. Bear with me a second. I'm trying to see what I'm doing here. There we go. Of course, I got a little smudge on it, but that's all right. I'm not going to worry about it. It is what it is, folks. Okay, do I have everything? Okay, let's try this again with our punch. Okay, so we want to get it to where we have the circle. So we're going to come in this way. And that's not going to work. So let me cut off part of this right here so I can get my punch in. I'm going to come in from the side. That's the easiest. There we go. So let me cut a little bit more off. That'll be the easiest way to get what I want as far as, okay, there we go. So now what I'm trying to do is just get part of my bear, cat, whatever, and this turtle. And hopefully I've got them lined up correctly. All right, so now I'm going to punch it. And we're going to take, and I don't want, this is going to go, I got to get it to where it's actually going to match up. So what I'm doing is matching everything up. Do you see what I'm doing here? So I'm matching everything up. All right. So before we attach this, I'm going to add my boho blue. So once I do that, we're going to add this on here and we'll match these up so it works. So let's pull the boho blue down just a little bit. And then that still gives us, yeah, some of the blue showing. So let's go ahead. We're going to add some adhesive to the back of this. Don't you find it funny when we're using a piece of cardstock that doesn't have anything on it? We always flip it over even though there's nothing on the front. All right. So we're going to cover this up and we'll put these right here. Okay? Got it? Now we're going to take this guy. Oh, so we're going to put dimensionals on him. Let me get my dimensionals. And then what we're going to do is we're going to line them up so it looks like they're all one piece, but we've actually, it popped up this section right here, if that makes sense. Okay. All right, we're almost done. Hold on. My apologies. Okay, so we're going to hold this down, and I'm going to line up my skirt and get my legs just right for my bear. And then hopefully we have our turtle, and that looks right. I'm going to put that down. See how that works? Let me pull it up so y'all can see. So see how it's lined up? We just line up the parts that we've cut, and it kind of gives it like a 2D effect or whatever, you know, and then it's popped up on dimensionals. That's kind of cute. It's different. All right, so we're going to add this, and that's why I'm not using a banner because I didn't want to cover up this guy. So we're going to put this right about here on the card. I'm going to leave a little bit of this pink showing, So we're just going to glue this down just with our liquid glue or whatever adhesive you want to use. And then we're going to do our sentiment, and then we'll be done. So my apologies again for holding you up. And which should be fine. It's only been an hour, so that's not too bad. All right, so let's put that right here and put that right there. All right, and then let me grab, I forgot to get a scrap of boho blue. Hang on one second, I'm grabbing it. Hopefully I've got a big enough piece. I apologize, I should have had this ready. All right, we're gonna stamp our sentiment, and we're gonna do this as a birthday card. So let me get my white in here, and we're gonna stamp this in black. And we've got our happy birthday to you. So I'm going to stamp this right. This guy is on my thing crooked, so bear with me. See if I can get it on here straight. Nope, that makes it even worse. Hang on. I got to remember which way to tip it. Oh, I have to go this way. Isn't that funny? Sometimes you put your stamps on. I'm going to turn it a little bit so it makes it look straight. There we go. The top part of it, the picture's on crooked, so I have to remember to stamp it like it's crooked, but it really won't be crooked. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this paper, this piece down. So I'm going to use this little guy right here because I want to, let's see, I want to leave enough. I'm going to cut here. And I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not, I can give you the measurements, but it's whatever you want it to be. Let's see, we want a little, I don't want to have too much white. And then I'm going to cut the top down a little bit as well, because I think that's a little bit too much. So we'll just trim that off. I'm just trimming, and boy, it looks crooked, doesn't it? I'm going to cut a little bit more off the bottom. I don't like to have too much white on there. So let's see, hopefully that's straight. Let me push it all the way up. Okay. All right, so, and then I'm going to cut, let me measure this. So this is actually 1.5 by 1 inch. So 1.5 by 1. So we're going to do 1.5 here. Probably cut this down. 1.5, and we're going to do 1.25, which would be right. Let's see, where's my quarter? 1/4, yeah. So quarter would be about here. So I'm gonna move it up. I'm gonna make it a little bit larger, and then we'll trim it down. Because I'm gonna trim. Yeah, that'll work. No, that's not gonna work. I didn't cut it long enough. What did I say it was? 1.5, right? 1.5. So I need 1 3/4. Oh. So now I'm trying to rush. Okay, 1 3/4. And that's 1 3/4. Oh my Lord. Let's try this again. We want, I'll tell you, 1 3/4 by 1. So we want 1 3/4. So we want 2 inches by 1 1/4, right? So what is this? What does this light up to? That's 1 1/4. And then we want, what did I say? 1.5, 1 3/4 by, all right, we want 1 1/4. 1 3/4 is what? Oh God, I'm having a hard time. Yeah, 1 3/4, and then we're gonna do 1 1/4. Sorry, I'm having issues. 1 1/4. That's 1/2 and 3/4. Okay, so let's see if this is gonna work. Y'all are going, hurry up, woman. Okay, there we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to trim this. Maybe I should just leave it alone. All right, we'll do this one different. Sorry. Look at all this mess I'm making. Okay, so let's glue this. And I was going to cut it at an angle like I did the other one, but this is good for now. We won't worry about it. We're just going to put that right there. We'll pop him up on dimensionals. Whatever I did with my dimensionals. Where are you? Hang on. Oh, here they are. Over here on this side. God. See, then I start rushing, trying to, not to hold you guys up. And we'll put one on each end. Well, might as well put 3. Put one right I might as well add 4. Why not? Never have enough dimensionals. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, and we're going to put this happy birthday. I'm going to set it right there. Now, this one is not cut at a slant, but that's okay. I'm going to pull it down just a little bit like that. Okay. There's the card that's supposed to be finished. All right, so there is my, all right, let me pull in the sketch so you can see the sketch. And again, the sketch is just a starting point, right? Oh, and I forgot to add my little doodad. So let me add some, I got to add some sparkles because that's what that's for, right? So let me add some, hang on. I know I've got colors in here. The boho, what is this? Or the orchid. I think I'll add a couple of these. This is the orchid. These are, I think these are retired, obviously. So I'm going to put one here, and then we'll just do a couple of lighter shaded ones, and we'll put a little tiny one because we've got, whoops, let me get my thing up. I'll put one right here, and then we'll put a little bit bigger one. Oh, I've got one on my finger, so we'll just take the other small one and we'll put that right, let's put it right there. All right, there you go. Forgot to do that. Okay, so there's our template. And again, I didn't do this because of this guy. All right, so there's that template. And then here's the Santa Claus that we did right here. And so you can see the difference with the template of how you can make it similar but not exact. So there you go, guys. I apologize for the delay in screwing up my punching part. But I thought that was cute that you cut it and then you just bump it up and it makes it look like it's still. So there you go. I hope you enjoy that. And of course, you'll put your sentiment or whatever on the inside of the card. So there's 2 examples of how you can use this template. So if you make any cards with this, please make sure that you share. I would love to see what you come up with. We all have different ideas. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate you taking time out of your Saturday morning. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Judy. I will have a recording for you on Tuesday. I've got to get ready to go out of town, so I will not be live, but I will have a recording for you Tuesday. So please make sure you stop and watch it. If not that evening, at least stop and watch it at some time that evening or the next day. All right, everybody, thanks again. I greatly appreciate it. And if I can help with anything, let me know. And if you need a catalog and you don't have a demonstrator, shoot me a message and I'll get one out to you before the end of the month. All right, thanks everyone.